Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk to a maternal specialist. She calls herself the Barefoot Mama and her unique approach to healthcare. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right, have you ever met someone and you feel like, I've known this person forever? My next guest has the gift of charisma. I met her for the first time about a year ago. Instant, just, oh my goodness, best friends. And that takes a special gift, and that's what she gives to moms. Dr. Courtney Gowin, she calls herself the Barefoot Mama. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. We had the best meeting.
We did. I mean, she just glows, and we shared stories. We cried together. It was an amazing thing, and that's why I brought you on the show, because you're dealing with moms with all kinds of issues these days, aren't you?
All over. And I think that in this day and age, we have so many different things that moms go through. I am a mother of 3, so I'm a single mother of 3, so I've kind of seen the full spectrum of motherhood. And I think that motherhood and healthcare, they are something that it's a big topic right now that we need to be addressing, because there's some big issues that we need to talk about.
Well, in school, they don't teach bedside manner, and there are so many doctors that you run into who just, they don't have the ability to relate to
and
their
connect.
Yes. And that's what you've got down. Where does that come from?
I think it comes from not seeing people as their physicalities, but seeing the spirit within them. And I think in motherhood, whenever you are growing a baby, you don't see the baby, but you connect with the baby. And I think that's the essence that I've taken through my practice, is the connection, is when you look someone in the eyes, you see them and you see their soul. And it's not in typical healthcare, just a number or a diagnosis. And I think that we have a human being, and we see more of the being, and that's where the healing comes from.
Do you see why I invited her on the show? She's so good. She's so amazing. So I want to show the book. Now, this is available for pre-order, called The Barefoot Mama. Tell us about the book.
So this book came from patients asking me hundreds of questions every single day. And I just wish I had a resource to send them to that had all of the holistic advice for preconception, infertility, pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. And so I compiled years and years, over 10 to 15 years of research, and I put it into a resource of the book. So we've done research, we have put that all together in an organized fashion, a little bit of my life story too, my birth stories. And it's just a resource for moms wanting to get pregnant, stay pregnant, and have a great birth and set up a healthy postpartum. And so we kind of pull in the wisdom of elders and cultures and normal physiology. We put it all together for moms to know how the body's supposed to work and how we honor that.
I love it. And you owe it to yourself to go see The Nest. Now, The Nest is what you call your office.
It's my baby.
It's so beautiful. I mean, look at this. Who would not want to go there as a patient? And you did that deliberately. You didn't want to be in some shiny office tower, did you?
No, absolutely not. And I think that whenever patients come in, their guard is immediately let down because they're comfortable. And we're barefoot when we practice. We are very casual, very relaxed. And women bring their kids. I think as a mom of 3 daughters that are 2, 4, and 6, it's hard to bring your kids anywhere. But at the Nest, you can come get a massage and have your kids taken care of. You can come get adjustments. You can come get all of these things that are necessary for your health care. But at the same time, you can bring your children, and we have that tribe and that community for women.
And it's very zen in there. You know, when I was
It
in
is.
there,
You've been, yeah.
And your team is so delightful. I mean, imagine, you know,
It's fun.
yourself times 3, because she has a team that's very much like her. So you'll really enjoy that. Tell us about the retreats that you're doing these days.
So the retreats came a lot from my own healing. I went through a divorce. I was in a wheelchair, so I had physical, mental, spiritual brokenness in my life. And I found healing by the ocean. And I would go to Mexico and I would practice these Mayan practices, Temazcal ceremonies, sweat lodges, Mayan clay ceremonies, and I would eat all organic. I would move my body. I would swim in the ocean, and it was transformative to me. And I've been teaching yoga for 15 years, and I said, why don't I mesh healing and yoga and all of these practices that brought me to this elevated state of being that I'm at? And so I put those together and I birthed Barefoot Retreats. And the retreats, they're in Tulum and Costa Rica. And we just go and we take women, men too, but we focus on healing. We focus on healing the being.
Yes.
And restoring.
And that kind of mind, body, spirit approach to your practice is so important, because I think so many people are dealing with mental health issues right now.
We are, yeah. Especially 1 in 7 women are dealing with postpartum depression. It's a major financial issue in the United States for job loss, motherhood. I've had my personal experience with postpartum depression. And we talk about mental health and well-being in women. And it's a hard world to live in, to raise children. And I think it's something that whenever we nourish that and we have a tribe, we have community in our healthcare, then that's where we have a lot of healing happen within people and within mothers. You healed mothers. Actually, a shaman, she was working on me and she was doing a massage in Tulum, and she said something over me that resonated, and she said, you heal the mother, you heal the world. And I think,
wow, that's
isn't that
powerful.
Beautiful.
That might be the name of
Maria
your next book.
Luisa, yeah. It's true though, we're the ones mothering the next generation, and we need to be connected.
Let's talk about female entrepreneurship, because it's one of the fastest growing
My
categories
favorite, yes.
of entrepreneurs these days. And I know there are a lot of people kind of stuck in the 9 to 5, and they're thinking, okay, it's time to go find meaning in life. Now, did you ever have that before you started your own practice? Did you ever kind of work inside a company?
I did not. My first job was at Bass Pro Shop, and I was 16.
Yep.
And then I came into school with a 13-page business plan.
Wow.
I knew that I wanted to own my own business. I knew God had placed a calling onto my heart, and I wanted to honor that and not let the world not see that. So it was something that I always knew that I wanted to do. I just didn't know how, and I had to figure out the how along the way.
Wow. And she has big dreams for the Nest. You see this rolling out across the country.
Yes, I do. And I study a lot in maternal health, and it's a big issue. We're one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, and we're one of the largest grossing socioeconomic countries. And so that boils down to that we've lost the community in healthcare, and especially maternal health. And so what the Nest provides is it provides a solution to women to come together and have full maternal care from preconception to postpartum, and to be cared for as a woman, as a mother, not just a diagnosis or a number. And so we're taking the Nest, and we are going to take it across the United States, and hopefully a Nest in every country, or maybe country, maybe but every city, every state, we'll take it. But it's a big dream, and it's a calling that I've had, and it's been put on my heart to help with this issue and help solve this issue.
Wow. And I love it that you're so relatable. So if you're talking to a patient who's going through some postpartum or depression issues, you can say, hey, girlfriend, I've been there.
I've been there. Yeah, just like you did with me over whiskey. I've been there.
We're going to leave with her website, which is thebarefootmama.com. Dr. Courtney Gowin, you are an amazing guest. We're going to have you back.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.